This is Water Elemental.
And this is Axis, and we're here to talk about the League of Legends. This is an interesting game we talk about every now and again. It's a Mobius-style battle game featuring fierce competitors and even fiercer foes and
Archaeology now.
fierce archaeology.
Fierce archaeology.
And other things that are also fierce. There's a lot of ferocity going on, really.
Taric's fierce. So fierce.
He's fabulously fierce. But, we got a lot going on this week. Skarner came out, and he's been underwhelming summoners all across Valorant. We have some more information on
Dominion,
the new game map coming out very, very soon. We have a couple of interesting things from Riot, not necessarily game-based, just kind of about their staff. Some new skins that are also coming out very soon, as well as some skins that were released. And then our own personal segment. Let's jump right into what's been on the talk of the town.
Skarner the underwhelming Scorpion.
There's not a whole lot to say about this champion. I mean, a lot of people were so excited, like, Skarner! Here's my life! I will love him forever! And I was one of them, I was super excited. I was like, Skarner to be I can impale people and drag them around? And then I started playing him. And the dream died that first practice came. 1.5 suppression. You can't teleport with that stuff up. You can't do it. So my first dream died within 10 minutes of playing him. And I was like, alright, that's fine. That's a balance issue. I get that. I didn't expect it to be that way. And then I started playing and I realized, hey, wait a minute. Why you no do damage?
Every game I've seen him in, he tickles. It's like he slows you down, but he can't hurt you. He can keep you locked for a bit, but it's just not like,
I don't know. Maybe my problem is that I was trying to really go for APADAS. I was really trying to get that kind of old Kale feeling going, where you use every tool in your arsenal to try and do the most damage. But I found that I'm too squishy. So I'm like, okay, switch to tank masteries, tank runes. I do a little bit better, but still, he's just lacking, I feel like I can't get anything done with him. But on the flip side, I mean, he's great fun to play. He's got amazing ability to clear out lanes and jungle if you do it right. I mean, he's got, with the proper item build, he's pretty hard to put out of a lane just because of his health regen from his abilities and his low mana costs. But again, because there's such low damage, you'll end up finding you have to spam your abilities a lot to get the damage you would expect with ease from other champions. And you just feel like you're wasting the amount of effort you need. And this is sort of the problem I had with Cassiopeia, is she's a blast to play, all the tools are there, but you end up feeling for the amount of effort you have to put into this champion, you're not getting the best returns.
Don't get me wrong, he looks like he's fun to play with. He has moments where you can get a good laugh in, or there's a good, oh, did he seriously just do that? With the Impale, you can chase him down in straightaways, and he can jungle for a bit. But it's just, there isn't enough for him to actually be very viable. And he's been played a lot in ranked games, me and him have both noticed, and it's just hindering. No matter what team I see him on, we can't do much because he just feeds, or he's not doing his part on the team, and he can't tank, he can't DPS, he's just there. And don't get me wrong, I like him. I like his concept. They just need to tweak him a bit.
They need to change his ratios, or they need to make him longer cooldowns with better damage.
See, that's what they did with Monkey King. They just gotta tweak him, and he'll be fine.
Yeah, because right now, basically, they're saying, "Oh, he's a great chaser." When do you get to chase? When are you going to be able to chase viably without a reasonable gap closer? His speed boost is okay, but in most situations, it's not going to be enough. Because here's how bad it was. I couldn't keep up with a Janna. Don't get me wrong, Jaina moves fast, but with Merc Treads, with Red Pill, I couldn't keep up with Janna as Skarner.
With his slows, with his movement speed.
With Red Pill, with slows, and with Ghost and Flash. Couldn't keep up with her.
And you were dodging her tornadoes too, weren't you?
I dodged both of them.
Yeah, so
She's a fast champion, but she's not that fast.
No, she's not, and especially with Ghost, that's not.
I mean, I couldn't even keep I couldn't keep a handle on Alistair. I felt like no matter what I did, I couldn't do what they said he was, and that was have great melee uptime. I didn't never get the chance, and when I did, they would get away.
His ultimate, everybody's saying that's what he's going to be good for, but at this point, it's better to go with Urgot.
It's a team fight ultimate.
It's a team fight ultimate, and in this case, you would rather just go with Urgot because you get the suppress and you get the.
It's longer, and it works better, and you can control it better.
And Urgot has more utility to support just the ultimate, so he's there that he can do solo lane, he can chase, he can do great harassment. Skarner can't do any of that at this point in time, and it sucks.
The problem I was having with this ultimate, it's a fun ultimate, by the way, don't get me wrong, but it's just because I'm new with him. I'm sure if I play him a lot more, I would get the handle of it. But when I pop his ultimate and I start dragging people back, I'm like right-clicking to get him away. Like, it's usually to get him repositioned so I can chase better, but breaks after like 1.5 seconds, and Skarner's sprinting away because the movement command is still in for him to move backwards and drag the target away.
It's like when the suppression breaks, you can't control him for a small amount of time.
Well, it's not that I can't control him. It's just that I'm thinking that I can drag him back for longer because 1.5 seconds is barely anything.
Give us 2. Just finish off the second. That's all we need. It's just a little bit more time.
It was funny, though. I did manage to get my ultimate on an Ezreal as he flashed. So he flashed away, ult connected, whipped him all the way back, and it was like, ah! I mean, he used his summoner spell, flash, afterwards, and got away. But
see, like I said, it can bring out some really funny moments, and it could be a very clutch move in certain situations, but
for the most part, it's just lulls.
I'm gonna get away! You're not!
He's a funny champion, but he's nothing I would play seriously. I guess it's the best way I would say it.
So what do you usually build on Skarner?
I usually start with a regrowth pendant, just because, again, mana's not a huge issue as long as you're not too spammy, so having a little bit of extra survivability helps. Build that into a fill stone, I get boot 1, then I get a heart of gold, just because he needs health, because he's extremely squishy once that shield goes down. So then I have 2 gold per 5s, I get boot, I finish off my boots, then I usually get a stinger, then a Hextech Gunblade, Nashor's Tooth, Trinity Force, and then I kind of differentiate. Sometimes I go with either a Banshees if things are getting hairy, or I just start building heavy DPS items. Like I get sometimes I even get a Sword of the Divine, just because attack speed is it really is best, and just gap closing is so essential. But having that extra armor pen, extra attack speed is just amazing. Because really, I more like the effect that I can push a lot of buttons on him. So having that attack speed, so I get to push more. I get to push more buttons.
There's less of that melee downtime that most characters have.
Yeah, a lot of characters you push one button, wait 10 seconds. Him, you get to push buttons constantly if you want to.
Doesn't do much, but you get to push them.
I'm sure there are better builds, and in fact, I hope you guys post better builds for us. I'd like to try them out. But for now, I've been going with the attack speed hybrid APADS.
Let us know if there's something in his mechanics that just isn't working or missing, because
yeah, feedback on this guy is great, because firsthand it's been terrible.
Because we're known to, if there's something we've missed, we're more than happy to go back and correct ourselves.
Yeah, no, I want to hear about things.
We want to make him good.
I want to know that I'm stupid.
But anyways, what do you think? What is the score to you?
Oh, I mean, he's not great. I've had fun with him, but the fun is quickly trampled by the fact that I can't do anything effectively. So while it is a great fun factor, and while I do rate fun very high on champions, the fact that I have fun and then all of a sudden, team fight, I can't do anything. I'm dead. It quickly goes from, this is kind of fun, to, I wish I would have been able to deal some damage or something. But really, that kind of knocks his score down a lot. I mean, he's got okay ratios. I shouldn't say okay. Awful ratios for everything except for his E and his R. His is pretty good, but kind of puts him down low just because fun, but you quickly get snapped back into reality. So I'm going to knock him down to probably a 6. I've given it out a lot of 6s lately just because they felt lackluster. They felt They felt too
come out
too
so
safe.
They've come out too safe, and yeah, we should go back afterwards and check on them. But at that point, you've seen more and more, and you can kind of judge for yourself. This is kind of our guide to buying them at this point. And I'm going to give him a 7 because I've seen funny stuff, and I really do enjoy him in casual games. Games with friends, practice games. But when it comes to ranked games, he does not belong. He does not belong in there. There's better choices in both range, support, all this other stuff. He just doesn't fit in that category yet.
I would pick Kale over him at this point.
Yeah.
I really would.
That's saying something. So anyways, let us know what you guys think. Do you think that we're missing something? Do you guys think that there's a better build out there that will make him ungodly? Just let us know. Post in the comments below or email us. That'd be great. Next up are the patch notes. Interesting patch notes. I do have to say.
I love this patch. I love it. Hey, Garen is so overpowered
it's
right now.
so bad.
I love it.
Let's see. Let's start off with probably one of the most known things about the patch is the change to Jarvan the Fourth's ult. It's
a change for the better if you're good at what you do, because basically it gives you AOE now, which is one of the biggest issues that I had was it would deal damage to one target when it was just a massive damage crater, and it's just like, oh, okay. This depends more on player skill, which is great. Jarvan is a great player skill character. Even though he's nerfed into oblivion, still a great player skill character. And this only adds to the fact that if you utilize every one of his abilities to max potential, you're going to do terrific.
This is good. His ult used to just literally target one target and you jump on him. Now, you can hit anything in an AoE area. This means that you don't need to have a target to jump away. So you can use it for, great chasing ability where you can barely cut them off and get them inside the circle. You can, use it as a barricade, like if they're chasing you, and you can use it on yourself, and then you bounce your way out and leave it for your enemy team to kind of fight their way out of it.
Oh yeah, no, it's a great change though. It gives a lot of utility, but it will cause a little bit of drama amongst the people that preferred the targeting method, because sometimes it is hard to get a good circle on a really wily target that's moving around pretty fast, but I think overall it'll be for the better.
Next up, we've got bug fixes. Kale's passive went from a whole 2% to a whole 3%.
Oh, snap.
Still not big enough, guys.
From 10 to 15%.
Come on.
Number 1. Kennen got buffed. Leona got buffed.
Monkey King got a decent little buff.
Morgana got buffed. Nasus he got pretty dang well treated. He got a lot of buffs right there.
Pantheon
he got better base, less scaling on some of his abilities. It's mostly changes to bonus damage, so it means if you're building DPS, you're gonna do better with him. And then Garen. Garen's OP. I love it, and I get more gold for killing Sorakas and support. I love it. I love it. I love it.
For those of you who don't know, support now, if you play support, you know that a good game for you is like, if you're lucky, is like 0, 8, and like 27. And you're not worth a lot of money, even though you're a vital part of the team. So for every, I think it's like 2 or 3 assists equals 1 kill to the gold increase meter, as I'd like to put it. So you're worth more money now. For every continuous assist you have, your head's worth more, which makes a lot of sense. But I like the change personally. If we're actually got bounty on our heads, makes us more of a target, so our team will actually protect us.
Yay!
If I'm on an assist rampage.
Garen changes are so good. I love it. I love it. I love it. 4-second ghost every 5 to 9 seconds. Yes, please. 25 magic resistance and armor at level 7. Yes, please. More judgment. Yes, please. It's just great. All the depression I had from Skarner melted away as soon as I played Garen, and a new Garen skin's coming out. It's just a great week for me.
Speaking of skins, I know I'm always shunned at for talking about new skins that are coming out later on, but there were so many that are brought out in this new patch that we've got to talk about.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
First, we have the new Garen skin, Rugged Garen. Looks great.
Looks like a rapscallion. I'm not sure. The sword model looks new. Armor models look new, so it'll probably be 975.
We've got a new Alistair skin. He's blue. He looks kind of like...
It looks like a tacky skin, in my opinion.
It looks weird. I'd have to see the in-game model to judge that one. We have a new Caitlyn skin, a snow
She's
sniper.
got an AK-47. There's another Caitlyn skin. She's a relatively new champion. She's getting spoiled. Malphite skin he definitely needed. He's great-looking skin.
And probably the funniest out of the upcoming skins is definitely K9 Gnosis.
K9 Susan, #1.
Oh my gosh.
I can't wait to see
the
this
splash art.
It's going to be great.
If you've ever seen the episode of The Simpsons where Bart's daydreaming about having his dog be part of the police and it turns into this robot, that's what Gnosis looks like. And it's just...
It's going to be great. I love it.
Speaking of the new skins, though, we've got the 2 decent-looking Skarner skins and then a new Taric skin. Thank you. It's about time. The skin looks great. A lot of people are complaining because of the particle effects.
It's a model change.
It's a model change. His hammer's different. His shield's different. He has glowing red eyes.
His armor's different.
It's so good looking. I've been unable to pick it up, unfortunately, because the store hates me and Riot doesn't want to take my money. But it's definitely one if you're a huge Taric fan. Pick it up. Support. Show Riot that we need more Taric skins.
And then we have an interesting thing coming up. Of course, that comes after sales. A couple of sales. King and Queen Tryndamere. King and Queen Tryndamere. I guess that would be accurate.
They're King and Queen.
I guess, is Tryndamere his last name? I guess it would be King and Queen Barbarian King. But Queen and King Ash for sale.
Okay, Queen
King
Tryndamere.
I did it the opposite that time. All right, there you go. We got that. And then Nightmare Cho'Gath. Nightmare Cho'Gath, kind of crummy. You should have had it for free if you've been playing for a while. Anyhow, I wouldn't recommend picking it up. It's not a great-looking skin. But Queen Ash, King Trin, both great-looking skins. Not the best, in my opinion, but they're definitely very nice-looking. And for this cheap, you can't really argue with that.
Sales this week on Champions, we've got Cho'Gath again. He's appearing a lot this week. Malzahar and Heimer. Heimer, great. He's a unique champion. He has kind of a different mechanic to him. If you want something new, kind of change up the pace of the game, definitely him.
Cho'Gath, I mean, an AP tank, I would go with Alistair personally, but he's a solid choice regardless. And Malazar, probably the best of the 3. Always a solid choice. Suppression on a caster is a great thing.
Remember when he came out and we hated him?
I do remember that. And finally, we have some interesting stuff about Dominion.
First off, we actually have a glimpse of the map. It's a circular formation, which we were wrong about with 5 points.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a weird 3-point system, but I'm glad to be wrong, to be honest.
Next, we have the fact that every champion will start out at level 3, at level 1 it said, so they'll be able to upgrade abilities as they please, as well as get more of an arsenal to start out with. I kind of like that feature to it. Next, there are random placement of buffs on the map, like healing buffs, kind of like Quake of some sort, like where there's random...
Or Dota with the runes back in the old days.
Yeah, definitely. And probably one of the most interesting things about this that makes me excited for it is the quest system is introduced into this. We were talking about that a long time ago when the tutorial
this was
came up.
always what I was thinking about, like with Capture Point or just on Summoner's Rift, just things to spice up the gameplay so not every game is the same.
And it would spice up the game to keep it from people just in a circular motion taking points, not even engaging each other. It would say something like, take the bottom 2 points in a certain amount of time and gain a increase to damage, as well as, get a certain amount of resource points depending on how this works, if the counter goes down or up.
But yeah, they've talked about how this game is going to be 20 to 30 minutes, or even shorter than that, didn't they say? But
yeah,
that raises some serious issues for me, is that certain champions are going to feel the burn of shorter games. Champions like Vaegir, Scion, Susan, Garen even. I already said Scion, but yeah,
Scion again.
Scion again. But champions that get bonuses for killing creeps, that have that sort of small rev up time, they're really going to feel the pinch of these shorter games.
Not only that, the creeps are going to be in smaller waves. They're not going to play as huge a part in this game. So even then, if you are going to play Vaegir or something like that, and you still need the creeps, they're going to come less and less even more, and that's...
So it does raise some new concerns for me, but again, I mean, it's a completely different style of play, and that means that there's going to be a completely different set of champions you're going to go for.
Yeah, like, you know, say Kale's really horrible in 3s and 5s, but she's absolutely amazing in Dominion.
Who knows? This will raise a bunch of new metagames, bunch of new discussions, and maybe even bring about some changes to old skill sets like Scion, Veigar, Susan, etc. And then finally, we have some cool little things from
The stream for the EU servers.
Yeah, no, they kind of talked about this, about the EU split, and now they're talking more about the people that actually work there and some of their opinions and stuff like that. Some of it was kind of dry. We listened to some of it, but the ones you definitely want to listen to are Jeff, Jew, and Veigar. Listen to all of them. They're really funny. They really love their jobs, and you can tell they put a lot of thought into the gameplay and everything like that. I mean, it really made me feel like Riot's a great place to work. I mean, I don't think I'll ever get the chance to do it.
I hope one of my dreams, hopefully, because I'm trying to be a game designer, is just at least be an intern or offered an internship
Oh yeah, no,
there
it'd be
at
cool.
least. You know,
But they seemed like really swell guys, and it was funny to listen to, especially when they brought up references about old Dota and stuff like that. And
probably the best is when there was a fire and they were acting like it was World of Warcraft. All right, guys, stand out of the fire. Oh God.
when does the dragon DPS?
Yeah, they could have burned down the whole studio, but yet they
gosh.
stayed out of the fire. They're true gamers.
Yay!
But yeah, it's been a very long. We're trying to get everything into this episode because there's a lot of information.
Speaking of everything, we have some interesting questions from you guys this week. Our first one comes from Aussie Dragonbite. He says, I'm excited for Dominion, but from what I've seen, I'm also very scared. There's not a lot of brush in the map, so hiding for ganks and defending is going to be more dependent on the fog of war. It's champs with abilities that go through terrain, like Tryndamere, Gragas, and they will be powerful here, like on 3s. Plus Twitch and Ev could be useful in this mode as scouts. What do we think?
Well, we didn't get into this in the main thing because it's just hype right now, but we found a list of what might be new items and banned items in the Dominion map. And wards are going to be banned, but they're going to have cheaper Oracle potions and other stuff. So you can't really see when enemies are. So the whole center area is going to be covered up in a fog of war. So that will be a great way to sneak around. As well as
your team fights too.
Definitely. And the potions will help out with the fact that there's no wards and you're going to have a lighter drinkable potion of Oracle on you. So that's better for scouts like Twitch and Eve. So they won't be as powerful. They'll still kind of be scouts, but they won't have the punch that they should, because you're going to be able to get quick, instant, look, I have Oracle.
Yeah, see, the thing about, the concern you had about having to depend more on Fog of War, while valid, I feel that there are going to be less creeps and less towers, which means there's going to be a lot more Fog of War on the field than you're generally used to, because there's going to be no wards, no towers, nothing.
Well, from the videos I've seen, though, the whole outer ring is usually lit up.
But the inner ring and the outside that outer ring, there's nothing there. So while that center highway might be perfectly fine, you might be able to see it just fine, you're not going to be able to predict when someone's going to jump out at you from the side or come down from middle to top. You just won't know. And so while you may not be able to depend on brush to get an ambush at a specific point, you'll be able to depend on the trees and hiding and popping out at a particular moment instead. So I think it will shift what you're used to, but I don't think it will ruin the possibility of ambush and infiltration.
I see where you're coming from, being a bit afraid. That is pretty scary, having this giant center of the map just dark.
Oh, Jace. And I believe that's it for questions. We didn't get too many this week.
We got one in Russian, but I took care of that already, so...
Yay!
Hooray, Russian?
Is it our first Russian comment?
It's our first Russian comment, but he is the stereotypical angry Russian, hates everything.
Angry Russian. But guys, we love your questions. Ask us more. Send them to our email at spazticgaming@gmail.com. It is located in the drop box down below, or post them in our comments below. We don't get nearly as many in our email, so if you have a longer one or one you want us to examine more closely, definitely send it to our email. We give a lot more thought to those ones. For the comment ones, we do give thought to those ones, but again, there's a text limit, so you can't really give.
Come on, guys, we're running dry on those two. Get us more questions. We love them.
Give, please.
Finally, we've got some announcements. First, our contest is still going on. Come on, guys. We want to see what you guys can do here. We've gotten some good entries so far, but we need more. It's not a contest. If 4 or 5 people send in some okay ones, we want better. We want the best you can do.
The best
around.
But take a look at our rule video. You can win some prizes that are worth actual cash. So think about it and stop on by.
Next up, this Monday will be our 1st year anniversary of the show. We were hoping to bring out our card game review on that day.
But we've run into every issue that has ever occurred.
We bought a new camera. We were
and it
recording.
Was broken.
It came with no cover on it, and then it was a horrible camera as
and then
is.
We bought an SD card for our memory drive, and then the card was broken, and it didn't work.
Now we're trying to get footage we've taken, and we're trying to get audio. The audio got corrupted. It's going so horribly wrong, and we just want to get this out to you on time, but I'm so sorry I won't be able to, because editing this will be about 2 or 3 days as is.
Well,
and
we'll try and put it out ASAP, and we hope you guys enjoy it.
But we're going to bring out some sort of video, but if you guys don't see that video up right away, we want to thank you, each and every one of you, for supporting us over this year. We did not believe we would get 400 subscribers in the first year. It's almost the exact same time.
You know...
Oh, no! No! Don't start it!
Sometimes.
Save it for later.
I feel like I grew up on the wrong side of the tracks.
Wrong side of the tracks will be entering our shirt store pretty soon.
Yeah. But that's really it, guys. Comments, please, questions, anything like that. Love to field questions. If you have any suggestions, anything like that, we're happy to hear them. But for now, that's really it.
So we'll probably you'll hear from us on Monday, definitely. But this has been Water Elemental.
And this has been Axis. And I might sing a song.